Hello, this is Matthew Robert Payne, and this is going to be a blueprint for a girl who calls herself Rocky. I love the Rocky films. I love that nickname. So I'm really happy. Prophetic Blueprint, if you're watching on YouTube, is like a comprehensive prophecy about someone's calling, someone's future, what the Lord would like them to walk in and to demonstrate. And if you're watching this, you can look in the description tag where it says see more and learn how to order one and get one for yourself. As far as I'm aware, there's not really anyone really doing them in the world. I feel that the Lord showed me how to do it, and I've got a friend who does it, Auty. He's away for 3 weeks until the beginning of June, but you can also write to his email address and request one off him too, besides requesting one off me. So, Rocky, I think I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 points on here. And so we'll start. And they're not in any particular order of significance. I'd encourage you to save up your money over the next 3 weeks and order a blueprint off Auty when he comes back from his mission trip in Mexico. Encourage you in between now and then to pray for him. That would be good. So the first point here that I have is apostle, and I don't really like that term. Many people who call themselves apostles are a bit shady. It's a scary term, one that I don't take lightly. I've had that prophesied and sort of moving in the apostolic grace at the moment. Haven't got a lot of information for you about the apostolic calling, but I sense that you may have had that prophesied over you before. It's a grace. It's an office that comes with a lot of responsibility, and something that, as you study and do some research into, you'll come to understand in years to come as you walk in different levels of gifting, as you walk in what God has called you into. You'll find that other people may start recognizing the apostolic grace on your life. So perhaps people have prophesied that already in your life, depending on how many prophecies you've had. But I'd encourage you to get to know what you called for before you tell anyone that you've got this apostolic calling. It's something that you want to keep close to your chest. You want to keep private. So the second thing that I have is that you're going to be a singer, a songwriter, and a performer. I sense for me to be sharing that you're quite confident in your singing. I sense you could be a musician yourself. I certainly can see you writing songs, even if you have someone else writing the music for you. I can see you certainly writing the lyrics and the poetry for the songs. And I can see you performing. It's not only worship. It's not only worship songs, sense that you're going to write to different contemporary songs and different songs that uplift people and bless people and encourage people. I sense that even if you just achieved one of these 12, even if you just walked in one of these 12, I feel that this singer, songwriter, performer is a tremendous gifting, a tremendous thing to walk in. You may be listening to this and say you're not such a good singer, you're not sure if you could write songs. I sort of sometimes get nervous when I prophesy that over people, if they actually regard themselves as a good singer, as someone who could be a performer. But I sense that you will understand this, and may mean more to me, may mean more to you in the future. But I sense that as we release it now, it'll be on your radar. So as you listen to worship songs, I encourage you to sing along to them and perform them. I pray for an opening in your church. If you're not in the worship team, I pray that God would open a door for you to be part of the worship team and get some experience singing to an audience and performing music with an audience. So I'm really encouraged with that one. I'm a writer and I've written 50 books, and I'm encouraged to write books and encourage people, and I hope that you get the chance to fully exercise what I've said in this blueprint, that you will be called to be a singer and a songwriter and a performer. I could see you ministering, preaching, and singing a worship song or two before you come on stage to preach. So I can see you joining the worship team and leading in song a couple of songs, and then taking the stage and preaching. So there too. The third one, I can see you being a businesswoman. See the Lord giving you supernatural downloads of business ideas, and I can see you rising up in business and operating in business. I can see in the future a number of businesses. I can see you gifted and running a number of businesses and micromanaging them, being a part of each of the businesses, but being an overall owner who operates in each of the businesses and takes time and spends time operating in each of the businesses and generating income. I can see you as someone who's a good equipper. I can see you as someone who's a good trainer. I can see you training and equipping people in your businesses to manage your businesses, and for you to go on and start more businesses and move and be used effectively in business to generate income and generate financial reward for you and your family if you're married, or other people that you love. A sense that the Lord is going to lead you and give you business ideas and have you move out in business and develop them and put them to work and get wonderful reward from doing business. And that leads into what I can see you doing Also, I can see you eventually at one stage becoming a business coach, not so much a personal life coach for Christians to fulfill their careers and fulfill their Christian life, but I can see you becoming like a life coach for businesses, that like a consultant and coach for people in business. I see that coming in a few years' time as you've operated a few businesses and gathered and had experience in business. I can see as you develop the wisdom and the knowledge, the management skills, the leadership skills, the marketing skills, the advertising skills, creative thinking skills, the able to generate ideas with different people. I sense that you'll reach a stage where I think even I think your first 2 clients or so will come from just people reaching out to you as a business person and asking you, can you consult with them? Can you give them some advice? I sort of sense that you're not even initially going to set up the business coach business. I sense that you'll have people you know who are in business recognizing the gift on you, recognizing your ability, and they'll start to approach you and ask you for your advice. And you'll remember this prophetic blueprint one day, and as people start to approach you, you may set up a website and a business as a business coach, and start to charge people for your time, for your consultancy, for your advice, and you'll start to professionally coach businesses and give them business ideas and give them ideas to change their business and modify their business and improve their business, and how they can better market their business and better go from 20% to sales to 50 to 100% more sales. And I feel that you can come alongside of people and teach them the fundamentals and the things that you've learned in business, the things that you've discovered in business, and take them, that your clients to another level, and move them from stage to stage, from one turnover to 30% more, 50% more, 100% more turnover. And yeah, so I can see that coming in time. As long as you have this video, you can put this video. I encourage you to start your own YouTube channel and put this video in a special place on your YouTube channel so that you can come back and watch it. I encourage you to send this to a typist on Fiverr or freelance website that can do typing. I encourage you to get this typed up, get a record of it, and get an understanding of it, so that you can really plunge the depths of this. So of course, you can spend some money and spend some time with me discussing each of these points and going into depth on each of these points. But you can take this and meditate on this for a while, and have it typed up and have a look at how extensive it is and how useful it is for like a template on your future. I really encourage you, like I said before, I encourage you to get this and invest in a blueprint from Auty also in 3 weeks, and get this printed up in the next 3 weeks, and review it and meditate on it, and then seek out Auty and get one from him, and then he'll do a printout and a video and compare notes and have a real in-depth look at what we both said, and then perhaps you can spend some time with Auty and me on a Skype call, and we can discuss what we said in both of these. Or you can just spend time with Auty, or just spend time with me. So the next thing I saw was a conference organizer. So I can see you as a person developing the skills to put a few conferences on a year, maybe in your city, developing the ability to put 3 or 4 conferences on a year, having friends, having people that you get to know that are in the ministry, developing specific conferences with a theme that you want to teach people a certain thing. You might do a conference on open heavens, walking under an open heaven, being able to interact with angels, being able to interact with saints, be able to have visions of heaven, being able to visit the courts of heaven, being able to have a house that is like a habitation of heaven, a house where angels visit, and they come in and out, and saints from heaven visit, and the Father and Jesus visit. And I find that there's many angels in my house, many angels with me. And so that's just an example of a conference that you could do. You do it around subjects that really interest you, like identity in Christ or intimacy with Jesus, and you organise them around a specific theme, and get the best speakers that you can to come and speak at a conference. Of course, you'd have to have a business, you'd have to have skills in making deposits and collecting money, and paying the speakers certain remunerations. And I can just see you arranging that in the future, in years to come. I can see people really looking forward to your 3 or 4 conferences a year that you host and that you put on. The next point I can see is conference speaker. So I can see you, the 4 conferences that you organise a year, I can see you as one of the guest speakers. So I'd put on a prophetic conference myself. I'd put on a conference walking under an open heaven. I'd put a conference on with intimacy with Jesus. There's 3 conferences that I'd have real experience and real knowledge to walk in, and to be able to participate in. So you'd find your strengths, the strengths that you have, and I would, if I were you, organise conferences around your strengths, and you be one of the keynote speakers. So I can see you speaking at your own conferences that you organise 3 or 4 per year eventually, and I can see you speaking at conferences around the world on the same themes and the same sort of subjects. I haven't got it here, but I will mention it, that you become a teacher. I feel that the actual subjects that you speak on in the conference as a conference speaker, I feel each of those subjects you will have released a book and DVD teachings and DVD series of teachings around that book. So you have a book on intimacy with Jesus, then a masterclass made up of 20 videos on intimacy with Jesus. And so they're 2 points that I didn't have, that you be an author and develop a 20-part video series on the book, and have a masterclass that can generate income for you around the subject. So around the subject that you write books on, that you do the masterclasses on, I can see you becoming a conference speaker under those subjects. So you would go and speak at a conference, and on your book table would be a sign-up sheet for your masterclass, and the book on the specific subject, or books on around the specific subject that you're speaking on. So the next point, I can see you're developing the knowledge and the wisdom and the training to be a healer. I can see you performing inner healing and deliverance with people. This isn't your full-time occupation. It's not something you do full-time, but it's like a string in your belt. It's an apostolic sort of function that you are going to have the ability to move in all these things, but in any one of these things, you mightn't be spending a lot of your time. But I can see you developing training, developing the ability to be a healer and learn inner healing and deliverance. And you can even, if you talk to Auty, you can talk about that subject and possibly being mentored by him, and he could teach you some of that. Okay, so the next point that I see here is teacher. I could see you as a teacher or a lecturer, or the person who opens up a supernatural school of ministry. I'm not sure if you're aware of the Bethel Schools of Ministry, Supernatural School of Ministry, but I can see the same sort of thing being organized and directed by you. Of course, I can see you lecturing and being a teacher in that school. You could teach on intimacy, on open heavens, on identity. I could see you teaching on a number of subjects. The subjects that you teach on are the subjects of your book, the subjects of your master classes, the subject that you speak in conferences about, the subjects that you organize conferences about. So even if you have an online supernatural school that you're teaching online, all the people who sign up for that supernatural school could start to come to your 3 conferences per year under the certain subject. You could be one of the conference speakers, and you bring all those people together and have them come and be at the conferences. So I can see you teaching on the supernatural, on a subject or a number of subjects that you're very experienced in. Okay, so the next point I can see is that you'll be a leader in the army of God. And I can see you seeking out people. I can see you doing sort of evangelistic outreaches and finding the army. I can see you saving the army, equipping the army, teaching the army how to find their life purpose, how to walk in their life purpose, and laying of hands and teaching on the gifts of the Holy Spirit and equipping the army. I can see you through your supernatural school finding this army and mentoring the army, being like a spiritual mother to the army and mentoring them. And I can see you actually leading a portion of the army. So I can see you leading quite a number of saints being in leadership over a portion of the army. So I feel that this is really close to your heart. Some of the others mightn't have been on your radar, but I sense that this is on your radar. This is the sort of thing that that excites you. This is something that you'd like to learn how you're going to do and learn how you're going to see it. I think a lot of these people will come out of your inner healing classes, come out of your supernatural school, come out of people who come to your conferences, that you organize conferences. I can see all those people sort of being found and being part of this army that you equip. You'd equip them through your supernatural school. You mentor them in like a masterclass mentoring program, and I can see you leading them with authority and leadership skills. I see this is really comprehensive, man. I can see you as a publisher of books, becoming a person who has got one of your businesses. One of the businesses that you set up is understanding publishing, self-publishing. That you'd understand, you'd set up a business model that can self-publish people's books, that can get editing done, can get graphic design done, get formatting done, and arrange advertising promotion for the books. I can see you being a publisher of music, a publisher of websites, and I can see even out of your ministry almost being organizer or creator of a social network. Perhaps the social network may start out as a Facebook group for your supernatural school, for the people who come to your conferences, and for people that are involved in your healing ministry, and people that in your army that you're mentoring. Perhaps the social network would be like a network to keep all those people together. You could start a Facebook group or Facebook groups on that. You could even start your whole supernatural school through Facebook groups, like Inside Out Training and Equipping School. But these are things you want to print out. A publisher of books, publisher of music, a creator of websites, website design, and those sort of things, and a social network. So there are some things. Okay, I've got two more. I feel that attached to your publishing, music publishing, music publishing, and attached to one of your businesses, not only publisher, but like a marketing business, advertising and marketing business. I can see you learning a lot for advertising and marketing and PR, and I sense that that'll be another business of yours, that you promote people's websites, promote people's products, get media advertising, TV, radio, internet advertising, that you rank and advertise people's websites. You do Google AdWords, Facebook advertising, and general marketing in the media of people's products. And I can see you working and running a marketing business too. And that's really surprising. I suppose round about now, you might be really blown away saying, how am I ever going to do this? But I'm sure that just knowing it will be amazing for you. And then you need to start step by step and start to step into some of this. I also see you moving into prophetic also. I feel that you'll be a prophetic apostle. You may be moving into prophetic. You may already be a prophet now. And I can see you teaching the prophetic, mentoring in the prophetic. I can see you leading an army of prophets, like a whole network of prophets. I can see like a social network or a Facebook group raising up a whole army of prophets, mentoring and teaching prophets. And I feel that part of the army will be part of the 144,000 mentioned in Revelation. The 144,000, I feel, in the book of Revelation, I sense is about 8 to 15 million people. And so there's going to be a lot of people. So I can see when I said a leader of the army and a leader of an army of prophets, I can sense that there may be thousands of people in your network that you're managing and mentoring, equipping and training, raising up and leading. And I sense that you'll not only be a leader, but nearly every conference you organise, you'll have 1,000 or 2,000 people that can fly in and come and be part of the conference. So I sense that you might not only have to have conferences in your own city, but you could have them in different cities, and your army, the people that you're mentoring to and you're speaking life into, will travel all around the United States to be part of your conferences. I see a day coming soon where the army of God rises up and the individual people working in ministries together will be organising their own conferences with their own people speaking, with their own people being organised in the conferences, and their followers and the people that they influence coming to these conferences and being a part of these conferences. So I pray that this has been a blessing to you and really ministered to you. I hope that you can get it printed out and approach me and spend some time talking about these things, talking about how you do each of these things and when you would do each of these things, and talk about your capacity to do these things. So I pray that you've been blessed. I always, these days, in these last prophetic blueprints that I've been doing, I sit down with some worship music on and I take notes and write out notes, points. I was doing a lot of them with 9 points, but yours went to 12. There's a lot in this, and I encourage you to write to Auty and get his, and then get the printouts of both, and then have a conversation, a three-way conversation with us, and have a big talk about your future. Of course, you don't have to do that. I'm not a person who pushes my time or pushes my services. I'm not after money. My books wouldn't be 99 cents each if I was not after equipping people rather than making money from them. But I can see all these things in you. I can see you doing all these things, and I'm pretty sure that you've had prophecies of other people, and some of these have come up. So that's it. I'm just going to close off the video now. So if you watch this, you like this video, press the thumbs up. I was wondering where the demonic attack was going to come on this one, because in the past, as I've done these blueprints, I've been attacked with this sort of asthmatic cough. So it did come. If you like this, press the thumbs up. If you didn't like this, press the thumbs down. If you want to comment, please comment. Want to share this video with your friends, feel free to share it. If this is the first time you're on the channel, perhaps you can subscribe. Press the little button on the right, which means you'll get notifications in your email. If you really enjoyed this prophetic blueprint, and you want one of your own, in the description tag where you see more, press on that, and it'll have a link where you can order one for yourself. God bless.